Hey guys, welcome back to the Cracking the Coding interview series where we go through all 189 programming questions in this book. This book is recommended for everyone who wants a software engineering job in a top company. That's like the Google, the Amazons, the Facebook, the Palantirs, the Teslas of the world. This book is highly recommended. That being said, today we are going to solve problem. Actually, this is problem 2, not problem 1, to be honest. So yeah, we're going to solve problem 2. Okay. 1.2, chapter 1, problem 2, and it just says check permutations. Okay, given two strings, we want to write a method to decide if the string is the permutation of the other. What does permutation mean? A permutation means the character is just ordered differently, meaning one string, if you rearrange the characters, you can get the second string. Then those two strings are permutations, and it wants us to try to solve it in n log n. Okay, and meaning we're allowed to use a while loop and a for loop pretty much, but also we could also try to solve it in O of n. There's different ways to solve it. Again, these are just hints, but we're gonna go through a few solutions. So yeah, let's get our hands dirty and start freaking coding because we like to. Okay, first step, I'm just gonna say problem 2. Okay, I'm gonna call it check permutation. I hope I can spell it. I suck with spelling, guys. So, okay, as always, I like to create my driver code first, and in this case, driver code is just a piece of code that calls your function. Okay, so in this case, let's create our first string s1, which is gonna be just let me make sure this guy is zoomed. Okay, 150. We're good. We Gucci. Okay, first string, I'm gonna say dog. Okay. Again, and here we can assume we don't care about cases, so we don't care uppercase, lowercase. We just care if it's a permutation or not. Okay. God. Obviously, these guys are permutation because God, you can get it God from dog if you rearrange the letters. So yeah. So now let's create our function. So def. Again, as always, we use Python, and as always, my favorite Python editor is Google Colab. It's by far the best. It's just my opinion, actually, so no one really cares. Okay, so now let's create our function called is permutation. Okay, and then we'll pass in the two strings s1, s2. Okay, now whenever I see a problem like this, for the first method, I'm going to use a Python specific method. One way to solve this problem is, how about you sort these values in terms of ASCII? Okay, if you arrange them in terms of ASCII, if they are all the same, then they are permutations of each other. Okay, because each string or each character on the keyboard has an ASCII, specific ASCII value. Python provides us with a function called sorted, so which we're gonna use now. So first, let's if function sorted. Okay, if sorted. Okay, what do we want to sort? We want to sort s1. Okay, equal sorted of s2. Okay, however, this is not enough because this sorted is going to care about case. In ASCII, the case of D, uppercase D, is different than the ASCII of lowercase d. So we have to create a method in a way, a function that doesn't depend on case. We do that with the lower method. Okay, we're just taking s1, converting him all to lowercase, s2. Okay, changing them all to lowercase regardless of the uppercase. So at this point, they're going to be both lowercases, and now we can sort them and compare them. Okay, so if their sorted versions is equal, return true. However, if the sorted version is not equal, return false. Okay, in this case, I believe this is all we need. Now we have to call the function. Okay, again, keep in mind that permutations is the same as anagrams. If you ever see a word, a question that asks you to check for anagrams, permutation is the same. You just rearrange the string, and do they give you the same characters? Do they all contain the same characters? Okay, so now I believe we should get true. Good. So I'm gonna change this and change this to a Now we should guess false. Okay, as always, we always like to take it a step further over here. We like to see what the code is actually doing under the hood. We like to visualize our code. We're gonna make this full screen. I'm also gonna zoom in to make sure, okay, 150, we can see it. Okay, now let's step through the code. Okay, so first step, we declare our function. We define our function actually. Okay, the next step, define our s1 variable in the global scope. Okay, this is our global frame out here. s2 gad global. Then we call our function. Okay, so now we have our global scope out here and our local scope in here, which is the function. We're passing s1 and s2 in this function. So s1 and s2 is defining the local scope, s1 and s2 is defining the global scope. Again, this could be a problem sometimes because it's called shadow variable. Most programming languages want you to use different variables in different scopes, but Python lets you do it, so we're not gonna complain. Alright, so now we're gonna check if s1 sorted equals s2 sorted. Okay, and obviously they are not equal, right? Because there's a and there's a G, so we return false, and that's it. And if I edit this code and change this to O, now it should return true. I'm just gonna zoom right through it. Okay, boom, return true. It works. Okay, so like I promised earlier, we're gonna solve it in two ways. So we're gonna define a second function. I'm just gonna copy this. I'm gonna call it 2, and I'm gonna go ahead and change the call to 2. Okay, this time we're gonna solve it using a package called counter. So I'm gonna say from collection, okay, import counter. Again, this is an inbuilt Python package that comes shipped out with the box with you, so it's really easy to use. And here I'm gonna say if counter. So what counter does, okay, I'm gonna show you what counter does. I'm gonna print counter of s1. Okay, this, it gives you a key value pair, a dictionary of all the values in s1. That's what it's gonna do. Let's see. It's collections with an S. Collections. Okay, let's try that now. Okay, good. So we're printing s1. It gives us D appears once, uppercase D. O appears once, G appears once. So it gives us a dictionary, counter dictionary with the values in there. So what we want to do, obviously, like we did before, is say if, okay, counter of, again, similar to this s1.lower. We don't have to sort it because the counter is gonna do it for us. Equal counter. That's the good thing about using the counter to create dictionary. It sorts the dictionary for you in terms of ASCII, straight out of the box. Okay, if they're equal, we're gonna return true. Else, what do we want to do? We're gonna return false. Now let's try this. Boom, they're not. If I change this to God, they are. So that's it for the video, guys. I hope it was helpful. We're gonna see you on the next one. Thank you.